Pastel, your thrifty apprentice. Happy Sunday, everyone, and welcome to the very first release day for Thrifty Pastel Month. Now, if you are not aware, Thrifty Pastel Month is a month-long challenge that I am hosting. It's being hosted on Instagram, and of course, I'm going to be doing videos for each of the release here on YouTube. Thrifty Pastel Month has weekly prompts instead of daily prompts to give artists, depending on their experience level, plenty of time to get their artwork done and submitted if they chose to participate. And you can use pastels of any type, be that soft pastels, oil pastels, watercolor crayons, or any medium using pastel shades, colors, and tones. So that opens it up for a wide range of people to participate, pretty much using whichever medium they want to, and still, be able to meet the criteria of the challenge. Now, you can check out all of the how-tos and doodads in the video description, and you can also find the link for the Instagram page in the video description, which will have information, and keeping in mind that Instagram is the actual host site for the challenge. So by all means, go on over to Instagram, follow me. That way you guys can participate. You can see the other artwork that people may be submitting with the hashtag who chose to participate. And I feel like it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really hoping a lot of people participate. So let's break into today's video. I am tackling prompt 1, or I'm showing you guys what I did for prompt 1, which is squishy. There are 3 other prompts, so if you're interested, by all means, jump on board, and you can always do prompt 1 and submit it on Instagram at any point that you want to throughout the month of November. So plenty of time to do whatever you want. I'm starting off with oil pastels on this pastel month journey. So I have 3 different sets of oil pastel, and what I plan to do is every Sunday there's going to be a different weekly release from me. And I'll be trying to use a different type of pastel in each one of the prompts. That's just what I'm doing. You use whatever you want to. If you want to use like Paul Rubens candy colors, if you got those, that's watercolor, but they're pastels and they're beautiful tones. So you can use whatever you want. Now I have 3 different types of oil pastels here that I want to kind of take a look at, since we're concentrating on oil pastels in this video. And the first brand that I have is Master's Touch Fine Art Studio. This is their premium soft oil pastel. There's 24 in here. And if you've seen the Master's Touch Experience video, then you saw a glimpse of these in there. Now there are a nice arrangement of colors for there to be 24. And these do conform to the ASTM 4236 regulation. Now, of course, none of this is an unboxing, but it's sort of like an unboxing. But we're only going to be using 1 brand, maybe 2. I don't know. We'll mix and match in the composition. So let's just take a look. They come with that sleeve on it, and then they're in a cardboard box that is pretty much the same illustration that's on the sleeve. Now, I can already tell you that these are white labeled by Mungio, by Master's Touch. So Mungio actually makes these. This is the exact same product as Mungio's premium soft oil pastels. So, and I've played with these a little bit. I'm not sure if I'll be using these or a combination of these. I just want to show you guys the different sets that I have. And I will be swatching whichever set I decide to use with you guys as well, just so you can see them swatched out. Now, for this particular challenge, I ordered off of Amazon a 50 count of Pentel Art oil pastels. I've heard so much about these from different pastel artists. And of course, Lindsay actually thinks that they're pretty good as well. And of course, you guys know I follow her. I talk about that all the time. And she does wonderful work in pastels. And I'm really curious to give these a try. So the third brand that I have is an actual Mungio set. This is the 48 count of oil pastel for artists. Now, this is their student grade. They have two different oil pastel sets, or regular oil pastel sets. There's this one, and I do believe that the artist grade is in maybe a green box or a black box, but this is definitely the student grade set. But I did want to give these a try. I've kind of played around with one color just to see how soft it was, and it's actually really soft. It's about as soft as this set from Master's Touch, which I know is produced by Mungio as well. So it's really like just having a lot of Mungio oil pastels, what have you. I want to take a quick look at the Pentel. I'm trying to grab a palette knife and not talk too close to the camera. I couldn't find one, so I'm going to use this compass. I just need to get the plastic pierced. That way I can unwrap these, because I do want to take a look at them. And then I'm going to decide which set to use. So they come in a cardboard box as well. And they're actually inside a tray that has a plastic film on them. Okay. Now these are much smaller than the Mungio or the Master's Touch. I'm just going to refer to both those sets as just Mungio. And they're definitely, I can tell from touch that they're a little bit harder. So I am going to be using all of these throughout the month of November, but there's only 4 prompts for the challenge. But I'm going to be doing oil pastel throughout the month. So I'm swatching in this journal that I made yesterday. Well, kind of completed today. Put together specifically for swatching oil pastels. It is constructed out of course, the Creative Mark Universal Mixed Media Paper. If you have access to a Jerry's, that's a really good dry media paper. It takes a watercolor pretty well, in all honesty. I've done a lot of Inktober drawings on that paper because that's what my Inktober journal is constructed out of. Okay, so I think I've talked enough. I think I'm going to go with the premium soft oil pastels. So I'm going to get set up to swatch this out, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to be swatching this set on camera with you guys. And we will eventually get to some reviews, I guess, of all of these somewhere in the future, later on down the road. So we're going to start with this set, and we're going to get these swatched. And this is probably the set I'm going to use to do the prompt for today, which is squishy. So I prepared my swatch book by simply taking my super black fine liner pens by Creative Mark and making a grid inside the journal that I'd constructed. I took the largest tip, and then I put down a black line just so I could check, test opacity. And now I'm actually swatching out each of the oil pastels. Now, right off the bat, I tell you, super creamy, super soft. They are like buttery, almost like a lipstick on the paper. The lighter tones seem to be pretty transparent. The darker tones can get opaque, but for the most part, I didn't see any issues. Knowing what I know, or coming from what I know about pastels with these, other than the fact that I do know that this is a budget brand and a student grade product. Now, each one of these pastels is a whole stick, and they have the name of each color on there for convenience, which is a really good thing. Now, unfortunately, there is no like pigment information or light fast information included with this product. Although I think Master's Touch does provide that type of information now. So here I'm just coming to the end of finishing up the swatches. And just beautiful tones and shades of colors, really easy to work with. The stick was comfortable to hold, didn't have any issues. They didn't break either, which I thought was surprising, although I know you can break them. So I'm just gonna finish swatching up this very last row here, and then we're gonna cut back to take a really quick look at the swatching, and I'll show you a quick tip that I have for protecting the pages that has the oil pastels on them, which I think may come in handy throughout the month of November. Now that you guys have had a chance to see me swatch the oil pastels, I want to show you guys a little tip, a little trick. So as you can see here, I have the pastel swatched, and I have the swatch protected with this clear covering that's made to fit the size of the sheet exactly. And that's to help keep the oil pastels from transferring onto other pages and to help protect each one inside the swatch book. Now, this is really simple to make. I simply made this from a page protector. You can buy a lot of them in a pack. I get mine from a dollar store, and I just slide it over the paper that I'm trying to protect. I'll keep the top end and the side end, cut it along the open end here, you know, and then along the bottom, and just use a piece of masking tape to wrap around the bottom in order to close it up. And it protects the pages so well. And you can slide it on and off if you need to. See there? I'm not going to slide it off because I don't want to pull that oil pastel. And of course, I don't keep this book compact on a bookshelf because I don't want that oil pastel pressing up against anything. I just kind of have this book laying on a table with some other swatch books. So there's just a really quick way you can protect the page. It's a really quick trick, and hopefully that'll come in handy with you guys, and it'll help keep oil pastels from transferring. And I'm going to be able to swatch many other sets and protect the pages that way. I also protect my work with the same type of page protectors, which we're going to show you as soon as the demo is over. Pastels are really soft and smooth. I think it's going to be really enjoyable to use these in a demo. I'm really excited to get going. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the demo now that we've had a chance to see the beautiful colors swatched, and I've shown you how to protect your swatch pages, especially if it's in a journal that you just made, right? So let's jump into the demo, and then we'll come back afterwards. So for today's prompt, I am painting a banana for squishy. When I thought about the word squishy, mine went to food. My mind always goes to food for the first thought of everything. And I thought, now what food is squishy? And I landed on a banana. So that's what we are drawing with our oil pastels today. So I sketched out the outline of a banana onto half of a 9x12 sheet of Canson Graduate mixed media paper. Now, I recently ordered this particular paper specifically to do pastel work on. And there I'm just showing you guys how I set my pastel, so I'll be sure to remember which ones I used. So I sketched it out, and that's what I'm using to fill in on this mixed media, just graduate mixed media paper, which so far so good. I think it may take a lot of different medias really well, and I'm going to try some other different things on it. So I'm using yellow as the base color, and for my shadow I'm using golden yellow, and I'm going to mix in a little ochre. Now, I laid down the yellow in a really light consistency at first, just to base in to see where I wanted to put my colors. Then I went in with the golden yellow on the side of the banana to start putting in my shadow tone and to start giving the banana some shape. And that was just kind of blocking in color, getting a lay of the land, so to speak. Once I had that laid down, and I'm kind of carrying it down from the stem all the way to the end of the banana, I went back in with the yellow, and I'm pressing more firm with the pastel, and that's causing the oils and waxes to blend together. And it was actually blending that yellow into the golden yellow and giving me a beautiful tone. But it wasn't quite dark enough, so I grabbed the ochre color out of the set and decided to go along the shadow side with that ochre color. Afterwards, I laid on another layer of the golden yellow to blend those two together. And then finally, I'm going to go back in with the yellow to blend all of the colors. And I'm making sure to lay down enough pastel so that they will self-blend, but I am going to actually take my finger and just kind of blend the colors in just to get them to the you know, the blending shading that I want. And I'm just using a little moderate pressure here with my finger to just spread those colors and blend them a little bit. And I think it worked really well. I really like this technique. I'm not an oil pastel like expert or anything, and this is really the first time I'm really giving a real guster go at creating a, you know, like a full composition with them. And so far, so good. I really do like this, and I really do like these Master's Touch pastels. I know that they're really just, you know, like Mungayo relabeled, and I think that they are working really, really well. Now, here I'm using the brown from the set in order to start doing the ends where the banana would have been torn off of the bunch and the very end of the banana peel itself. And I'm using a Q-tip, which is another way you can blend oil pastels in order to just go and you know, kind of blend that out a little bit, blend it into the yellow. I wanted the tones to kind of flow from one to the other without looking like there was a lot of effort in it. So I'm going back in at this point with some more of the bright yellow right up by the stem, just so I can blend those colors into the brown just a little bit more. And this was really, really fun. It's like painting with really big crayons that are just of much better quality and mixed together much better. So I decided that I wanted to put a little green in it based on the reference photo that I was looking at. So I grabbed the yellow green. I think that's what it was. Yes, the yellow green from the set. And really, 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 really lightly, I'm just making marks to put down where I want my color. And then I'm using my finger to tap and to blend those colors together. Now, oil pastels are relatively new to me. And of course, an oil pastel is a painting or drawing medium formed into a stick, which consists of pigments mixed with a binder of non drying oils and wax, in contrast to other pastel sticks, which are made with a gum or menthocellulose binder, and in contrast to wax crayons, which are made without oil. The surface of oil pastel paintings is less powdery than one made from gum pastels, but more difficult to protect with a fixative, which is why I always just put mine into a protective plastic sheath. Now, you see that I'm using there to blend in more of that yellow color. I just really wanted to get the brightness on the top to make sure that there was a difference between where the light was hitting versus the shadow side of the banana. Now I'm just jumping in with the gray from the set and mixing in a little bit of the black, and I'm blending that out with the Q-tip in order to get that smooth. And I'm going to take it so far with the pastels, and then I'm actually going to grab some color pencils just to, you know, finish the minor details of everything, which I'm switching over to now. Now, this is actually Master's Touch Fine Art Studio color pencil set. I figured, hey, I'd use brand and brand. And I'm just using one of the more of a yellow ochre color, and I'm just going to use that to tidy up my outlines because oil pastels, especially those big ones by Mungio, can be hard to get a really fine line with. So I'm just using that color pencil to clean those lines up. And I'm going to use a couple of different colors to do that. This yellow ochre color is going to go around the banana. I'm going to use a darker, more saturated chocolate leaning brown in order to do both ends of the banana where the brown color was in place. I'm adding a little detail here and there as I go. Now, the thing about it is that color pencil will scratch up the oil pastel. So you want to kind of use it sparingly and just use it in the places that you need to enhance and accent what you've already done with the oil pastels. Those oil pastels blend really, really well. So there was not a lot of work to do with filling in any of the tooth of the paper. It was just more so just outlining, cleaning up things. Here I'm adding in just a little few strokes with my brown pencil. I'm going to put in, you know, just a few details on each of the ends in order to make it look, try to bring it a little bit more realistic. tapping here and there, and you can still blend because oil pastels, you know, they really never quite dry completely, so you can always go back in and kind of do a little bit more blending if you feel that you need to. Now I grabbed the gray pencil, or one of the gray pencils from the pencil set, and I'm just using that to kind of base in the shadow. I'm not going to add any black into the shadow itself. I'm just going to end up adding black directly under the banana where it would be touching the surface. And then I'm going to enhance the green a little bit with a yellow green pencil, or from the set. Yeah, just cleaning things up here, guys. I really actually enjoyed this first painting with these oil pastels. This was a lot of fun. I cannot wait to get to another pastel painting of some type with one of them. Now here I'm adding on the little brown spots that you would see on a banana. And this is just with the brown, the same brown that I used on the end of the bananas. And I'm just, you know, again, trying to add a little bit more realism to the comp illustration. So there we go. We're going to sign it because we're done, wrapped up, drawing the black border to contrast against the white border once the tape is removed. And then I'm going to go in with a gel pen in order to add like very few minute highlights. It's not going to be many at all. And then that's pretty much going to bring this first illustration, this first Thrifty Pastel Month weekly illustration to an end. It was so much fun. I hope you guys give this a try. It was really, really easy, and just used a few colors, and like I said, they blend really, really well. This is a super cool set. Here I'm going to go ahead and remove the tape so that you guys can see the final illustration. I must say, it turned out okay. It turned out a lot better than I thought it would, considering the fact that I am not super good with oil pastels. And I'm going to see you guys on the other side of this. All right, my friends, here we have it. That was so much fun. I really, really enjoyed that. I'm really excited with the way it came out, and I just really enjoyed using those oil pastels so much. They are so super soft and creamy. They blended together really easily. Like, had these been the very first set of oil pastels I started with years ago when I decided to pick the medium up and give it a try, I probably would have stuck to it. But now that I have oil pastels like this, I'm going to be doing a lot of more oil pastel compositions, whether it's on or off camera, just for my own sake. So now that we've had a chance to get through the very first prompt, which is squishy, and I did the banana. I mean, I know you guys get it. When you squish a banana, it's so squishy, squishy. That's what I thought about. And week one's prompt is down. So I'm going to start getting my mind wrapped around doing week two. So we'll be getting to that one on next Sunday. And real quick, I want to show you guys how I store a lot of my single sheet artwork. Now, this is another journal that I created for November, for Pastel Month, because I knew I was going to need a way to store some of the pastel work that I was doing, especially considering like oil pastels doesn't dry completely. Chalk pastels will still rub off. The only thing that I'm going to be able to use that'll dry completely and probably won't do much transferring is going to be like watercolor crayons, or using a non-transferable media in pastel shades and tones, which may be one, I'm not sure. It may be another project during the month of November. But anyway, I'm rambling. Let me quit. So I made this extra journal, and on the inside, there's some pockets. I think I've shown you guys this before. And at the front, I just have some alcohol marker work here that I've done. And I'm going to be putting a divider in here to divide the alcohol marker section off from this section, which is my pastel section. So it'll be a divider and a header for pastels. And this is one of the warmer pieces that I did leading up to this month. This was done with Amungio water soluble oil pastels, and I just kind of wanted to get a feel for them and see what I would be able to produce with them. And we're probably going to be using either water soluble oil pastels or watercolor crayons for one of the prompts for Pastel Month. So You may get a chance to see those. And these are the same page protectors that in this section is for color pencils. That's some color pencil work that I did with those favorite Pastel Black Edition pencils. But I'm just gonna slide this pastel work in the back side of the one I just showed. And that is how I store them, to keep them kind of, you know, safe. And I don't store this compressed into a bookcase with other books, simply because it has projects like this in it. And then it's really easy to close up and display whenever you need to. All right, guys, that brings us to the end of the very first video. I'm sorry if this was too long, but I had a lot that I wanted to get out in this video. I hope you enjoyed the very first prompt release video for the very first Thrifty Pastel Month, which is something that I am planning on doing annually. And I'm really hoping that you guys come along, join along, and participate. Keep in mind, you can use any medium. If you don't want to use pastels, you can use other mediums, just as long as you're using pastel colors, tones, and shades. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me here. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you saw, heard, picked up on anything that you liked at all. Share the video. I would love for other people to hear about Thrifty Pastel Month and possibly participate. So sharing is definitely going to be caring. Jump in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about Thrifty Pastel Month. Are you going to participate? Are you excited? What do you think about one of my very first pastel drawings with oil pastels? Talk to me. Let me know what's up. If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, or if you're returning and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscription button, hit the notification bell, so you can keep up with all of the different things we do: watercolor pencils, color pencils, water soluble, anything, pastels, alcohol markers, and crafting. This is an all-inclusive art and craft channel, so go ahead and subscribe. You can check out the video description for all of the relevant links. It's going to give you the Facebook group, which, as a disclaimer and a reminder, guys, please answer the questions for the rules if you're joining the Facebook group. I've had so many people join lately who are just skipping over answering the questions, or just not answering them. And I just have to put out the disclaimer: if you bypass answering those questions and you're not agreeing to the respectful rules that we have to govern the group and make sure that all the members are safe, upon the first violation, you're going to kind of be dismissed from the group. And that's because I don't know that you read or even care about the rules, guys. So, you know, let's just keep the Facebook group safe and be sure to agree to the rules and come on over and join a really wonderful group of artists and crafters. You can check out the link for the most recommended product list, where you're going to find very budget friendly, great quality products that are going to be great to use. And you can also find the link for the Etsy as well as the Patreon, where you can support the channel and help me continue to buy wonderful art supplies so I can continue to do challenges and put together videos like this. So that's it, guys. Thank you for joining me. And remember, as I tell you at the end of every single video, just keep painting and crafting.